Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I thought I would do a live this morning regarding something that's been resting on me. I got the new proposed budget summary and it left me confused. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about leadership and the fact that leadership always, not often or sometimes, always requires you to make tough decisions. That's the responsibility of leadership, is that you're required to make difficult decisions because, who said it? The buck stops with the person who leads the organization. So that's your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make what you believe, after you've examined all the evidence, the best decision, no matter how difficult it is. And it is not leadership when you blame others, you fabricate reasons, you make up excuses as to why you do not make the difficult decision. So I'm going to say that we were presented, I received it, I guess it was maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I received the proposed budget summary, which gives two scenarios, doesn't present one, which I think is what is required by the charter. The process requires that we're presented with one option that we examine, that the public discusses, and then we make our decision from there. So when we create a budget, when we present a budget, the budget is a guiding document. And in our financial situation, a lot of unknowns. We don't know how, for example, how much money we have in the bank. But we do know we are going through this difficult time of COVID, and revenue has not been generated in the same way. And I know, for example, there's some members of the council and the mayor is proposing selling property to try to balance this budget. But when you sell property, you get the money for now. There's no ongoing money. And even the sale of the property might not be completed during the time frame that you expect. So using sale of property, city-owned property, to plug the budget hole, I think is short-sighted. Because how do you know when you're going to get the money? How do you know when you'll be able to utilize the money? And there's no money that comes after that, because even if construction is going to begin on the location, it's going to take a minute. So I believe that it's really important that we make, when leaders make decisions, they make the tough decisions, but they do it with all the evidence, and they do it regardless of the consequences, and you don't blame others. So I hear and I understand that the mayor thinks that me not voting for the sale of the YMCA building or the property on 4th Street is impeding her ability to balance her budget. Now, I'm going to say that's nonsense. And here's why it's nonsense. Because everybody understands that we don't have to sell property in order for development to move forward. What I'm saying is, let us follow the charter. The charter says that the property should be sold via public auction. Not some properties. You don't negotiate special deals on some properties and then sell other properties via public auction. The charter calls for public auction for the sale of property, and it also requires a supermajority of the city council. That's what needs to happen. We need to follow the charter. I didn't write the charter. All I'm asking the city council and the mayor to do is to follow the charter. The other thing is that there was legislation passed to hold the comptroller to account. I believe that that legislation was passed as a political move, right? Trying to say that we're going to ask the comptroller to do certain things, to provide certain information. The charter too is really pretty clear about the responsibilities of the comptroller. And if she's not doing the task that's required of her, then that's what we should take her to court for. Take her to court and ask that she be required and held in contempt if she does not do what the charter requires her to do. We just had charter revisions, which asked for additional things. But in any case, the legislation that was passed did pass. It required 3 votes. It got 3 votes. So me not voting for it because I thought it was political, one, because Marcus Griffith wants to run for comptroller and was trying to make the present comptroller look bad or trying to make himself look good. That has not helped us. That kind of politics has not helped us in Mount Vernon. And I'm running for re-election, but I'm running on my record. Look at what I've done. Don't talk about me behind my back. Come to my face with questions about anything that I voted on or any question that I've asked. Every question that I've asked, every vote that I've taken, every discussion that I've generated has been in the best interest of this community because I have no other axe to grind. And so when folks are saying, don't vote for Delia because she didn't vote against Deborah Reynolds, I'm not voting against Deborah Reynolds. I'm looking at how do we facilitate better relationships in order... What? What did you say, Daniel? You will go examine the record, Daniel. I am saying that we have to not vote against anything. We vote for something. Because the thing about it is that I am not going to vote just for a political reason against Deborah Reynolds. That makes no sense. We cannot villainize. That's Trumpian. That's what we do in this community. We practice the same kind of Trumpian politics, where we blame others for our fallacies or inadequacies or shortcomings. Let us not do that in this community. Let us strive to do what is right. Don't make don't keep some of the information aside or hide it from some people and then blame others. I am running on my record. If this community chooses not to vote for me, then so be it. I keep telling you, I'm a clinician. I'm a licensed professional who works hard for a living. I don't depend on the city council to keep my life going. That is not what keeps my life going. I'm doing this because I love my community. I think I have value to add. I ask pertinent questions. I am not a rubber stamp. And I represent the best interests of the community. And people can call me for help, and I help. Every day, somebody's calling me looking for help. And every day, I work hard to help people in this community. I am not doing this for me. This is supposed to be a part-time position, but it's not a part-time position because it takes up so much of our time, so much of my time, certainly, to be responding to the needs of this community and working diligently to have government run properly. So I am challenged and I am questioned and I am villainized and labeled because I am not a rubber stamp. That's the reason why that happens. Because I choose to be independent, because I choose to pose questions. That's why I'm villainized, right? And worse, I'm an immigrant to this community. I've lived here for a long time, but we do the same things, the same kind of xenophobic things, where people who are seen as outsiders are not treated in the same way just because what? You're not born here? Yeah. But we came here as immigrants to this community. We've bought property, we've built up, we've opened businesses, and really contributed value to this community. So let us not be Trumpian in our approach. Let us not be Trumpian in our approach, people. And leadership requires you to make tough decisions. So I'm asking that the budget summary that's presented to the City Council comes with one scenario. What is it that the mayor is asking us to consider? Present it and let us discuss it and have the community weigh in, and let's move forward. We're in difficult financial times, economic times, but we're not alone with this. And so everybody is being forced to make difficult decisions. Let's stand firm with a stiff spine and make the tough decisions that's required for this community. Are there places where we can make cuts? What kind of cuts are necessary? And let's do that. And don't blame others. Take the responsibility of leadership. Certainly don't blame me or Councilwoman Duarte. Take the responsibility of leadership and make the tough decisions and then bear the consequences. That's what leaders do. So I'm asking, if you have anything to say about me, say it to my face. Don't go around trying to rile up people about don't vote for Delia Farquharson because she's X, Y, or Z holding back. Don't do that. Don't be Trumpian. Be bold, be courageous, be honest, use your integrity, and make the tough decisions and then bear the consequences. That's why, Mayor, you're in the seat. So a good day to you all.